Like not girls trying to fuck.
Like I said, they wouldn't be shit without some of these big places.
Welcome to this podcast.
These days. I'm gonna definitely get copyrighted for this, but I don't care. She low key hard though. Like I'm with it. Let's go party. Come on, honey. Let's go party. Yo. Yo. What the fuck is she doing? She is hard. But dog. I'm so confused right now. Uh-huh. 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 I'm gonna do the bad bitches, me and you really dance. Yeah. Alright. Okay. I'm sorry, folks. I just had to get my vibes right. Welcome to the Rondo Show podcast, episode 88. Hope everybody out there is living up to their full potential or on their way to it. Cause that's the best you can do. Shout out to Knob Creek. Best whiskey at the moment. Say nah. Best whiskey on the planet. Yeah, episode 88, man. I appreciate everybody listening, man. It's just me here today. Shout out to Nascar P. Dropping them albums, man. Dropping them albums out. In the pile picks, I put his album up there. It's the latest album, but shout out to you, bro. After you know it's real, I told him to take a few pods off. Then I texted him, but he ain't never hit back. And it's all good. It's all good. I just got a vision, got a vibe, got an energy. I'm trying to go for a point, a mission, a purpose in what I'm doing. And I just want everything to be clear before, I keep adding people's personalities and their perspectives on the show because, yeah, like I said, I just don't want to stand for something that I don't stand for. And I can't have people calling me retarded and dumb to my face on my show. It just can't happen. No matter how heated a debate can get, it's supposed to be content. It's supposed to be flagrant. It's supposed to be a show, not a personal, thing. He actually admitted to being upset, so I don't think that's good when people get upset through conversation. So that partially could have been on me. I could have escalated things unintentionally, and if I did, hey, this is why I'm making this change right now. This is why I'm ready to have that conversation with him so that we can get on the same page. But I don't know if her name is G with an exclamation point or Lil Cherry, but either way, I think she wants us to come party with her. She is fucking fire, though. That is hilarious to me, just because it's like Asian hip-hop, and she's kind of like doing the female thing. It's just funny how fast female rapping or singing can go when they're not black. It's just crazy. But I'm not gonna make this about that. That was just some shit I literally just found at the beginning of the pod, and I was like, hey, why not share this with the world? It fucking threw me for a loop when I seen it, man. Yeah, man, I can't say that beat ain't banging. I can't say that she ain't got a flow. I'll fuck with her flow. Her flow is definitely different. But dude, can't stop everybody. And I ain't in stopping nobody from doing nothing, so that shit is pretty cool to me. Appreciate everybody who listens to this podcast, who subscribe to this podcast, who tuned in on Instagram and keep posted about this podcast. KKM Media Company on YouTube. Thank you for everybody who subscribed to that. I do have a YouTube show called Just My Random Thoughts. Those episodes are a little shorter. Some of them are 30 minutes, but most of them are like between 10 to 15 or below 10. So easy watch. Good information there. Great perspectives. Some of them are funny. Excuse me. And speaking of funny, I was told that I should be a comedian by a lot of people, but I feel like a lot of people are told that and they don't really, they're not really funny. Me personally, I feel like I'm funny, but I also know comedy, so comedy's a commitment. Like, you have to give your whole life to that thing. And for me, I'm just not in a space where I want to do that full time. So I just said, man, I'm good. I won't disrespect the craft like that, until I always said I would do it in the later years of my life, and I would just sit back or whatever. And where I'm at right now, it's not really a comedy scene. It's nowhere to go to perform. I heard there might be opening a comedy club somewhere nearby, but that's still like 2 hours away. So I'm down to do it. But like I said, I got a lot that I'm doing right now, and I want to just get rooted in that first, and then take off with that. Y'all see me inserted all the time on this podcast, briefly, here and there. I try to be funny here and there. I don't necessarily want to make the whole thing like that. But yeah, man, appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. Keep tuning in. On Spotify, subscribe and follow and like, share, listen, comment, review, do all that shit, interact with the shit. Give me your take on it. What you think we need to improve on? Not saying we even gonna do any of that shit. So no. But now, what you think we need to improve on? And yeah, man, we can get it popping. But right now, just came to my attention that T.I. was booed, and I'm gonna just play this because shout out to T.I., man. I appreciate anybody that's not a comedian doing comedy because it makes it easier for me to do comedy. But I just watched Desi Banks get booed, and I was like, oh, he's an internet guy. He's funny on the internet. Like, he's not funny in person. But like I said, that's just one clip. I hadn't seen him. And it's kind of funny how him being booed is funnier than the jokes he was saying and being booed for. But hey, what can you do but live and learn? So I'm gonna play this clip from Godfrey. I'm gonna take it all the way back to Godfrey. Cause when I heard T.I. was doing comedy, I was like, oh, that's sweet. Like, he doing comedy. But then he started doing these big stages like instantly, and I was like, whoa, like, hold on, like, I wasn't necessarily like he don't deserve this and he don't deserve that, but at the end of the day, you got an opportunity based on a rap career. An already famous person gets to skip the line, and it has nothing to do with skill at that point. People are granting your celebrity priority over people who have talent but have been working because they don't have the celebrity that you have. So for me, it was like, oh, okay. If you want to call it cheating, I mean, that's what it is. If you ask me. So let's see what Godfrey talked about when he went to the Breakfast Club. He addressed it.
I didn't believe you. I thought you were lying because I just happened to be working today. You know, bullshit. I wouldn't have said anything. But I was like, Anthony, you're nice. Like, you're like nicer than I. But not saying you were mean, but you were. What was your perception? Nothing. Really, I mean, I just thought she was just, I don't know. Because, you know, I thought maybe she'd be like, so shitty. Maybe. Not really, but you're super nice, like overly nice. Like, you've been scoring before, guys. No,
Who hasn't? Who fucking hasn't? Right.
You were actually on FaceTime with Shaq when
I was on FaceTime with Shaq.
Yeah, they were talking about the T.I.
Shaq, I guess T.I. T.I. did the Shaq All-Star comedy thing.
That's why people don't like Angela. She brings up the rough shit.
About that. We said T.I. was going to be on that show.
Yeah.
We had a whole
I didn't know he was doing the Shaq comedy.
Yeah.
Shaq Comedy All-Star. That is a historic comedy show if you do not know. It's a big fucking deal. People who've been doing it for years and years and years go there. And that's probably the thing too. I feel like behind the scenes, T.I. might have been super confident. This is just my opinion and me making assumptions, but he might have been super confident. So celebrities, not even celebrities, but comedians of a high caliber just say, hey, push him so he can see the reality that you need to sit the fuck down and take your damn time. But I'm going to let it play. And Charlamagne being confused is, very helpful for Godfrey in this interview because at the end of the day, he felt that same way, that same initial confusion, and T.I. gets to call it hate, and then T.I. goes on to say, "What God got for you, you know what I mean? What God got for you, I can't take that away from you." I'm like, man, and then he said he wants to kill his ego, but I'm like, dude, that's ego speaking right there. Because who said that you was going to take something from somebody? The reality is, God do got certain things for me, but if you are getting those opportunities based on your celebrity and not none of the comedy work, not work in life, comedy work. I don't know how to say it. I'm gonna let him talk. Right? Why are you making that face? That's what I said. Yeah. What do you mean? Now he's trying to.
Like the Shaq comedy all-star thing was for people who had put in some time in the comedy game. Like that's not a platform you just jump out on.
Right. I ain't got to say it.
What? I'm just saying. I get Shaq. I get T.I. the celebrity though. But I'm just talking about performance-wise. That's usually the thing I think to that next level as a comedian. I didn't say. Go ahead.
So if you recall, we had a whole conversation up here about Godfrey and T.I. and how T.I. went on after Godfrey. Remember, we had that whole conversation.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
I was in Atlanta. You spoke about it. I was in Atlanta. I know. I'm going to talk because it's still lingering a little bit. when I was in Atlanta, I was doing the Atlanta Comedy Theater, and I want to say I did like hour 40, right?
I'm gonna say one thing, and I know they about to come for me. Everybody in Atlanta about to come for me, but the reality is, man, I feel like it's a southern. Every time I've dealt with, especially hood or gangster, whatever you want to call it, southern dudes, they're very Debo-ish, if you know what I mean. They just walk up and it's like, you gonna stop me, and if you don't want confrontation, then you're gonna lose, because I'm gonna take whatever you got. Period. And it's like we just coming to take over. And it's this mentality of like this bully mentality, but it's an intimidation factor. And it's also, they don't have to have the skill involved. It's not about skill, it's about power. And like I said, intimidation. So I didn't notice, I never noticed I mean, there's a few guys who, you know, do whatever, play the game, if you want to call it that. But my experience with people from the South is, you know, you go down in the South and you're like, hold on, but I thought this, I thought this, I thought I was allowed to do. And they're like, boy, who else you see out here right now but me, boy? Right. So my whatever I say goes. Ain't nobody about to save you, man. That mentality is like, I'm gonna just I can talk my way into anything. I can manipulate my way into anything, and I can take shortcuts, and I can just skip the line. Like, this shit is real life. Like, I haven't been skipped in line, in actual physical lines, by people from the South, and it's because they are looking at me like, what are you gonna do about it? You can play these games and follow the rules and all of that, and the part of that, the element of that, I'm with it. Like, I love that. But some of it is just like, dude, you got to do the work, man. You can't skip steps. You just can't, because then the quality of the content ain't gonna be where it need to be. And
My boy Artie Fuqua, Artie, he's like, I get on stage, you know, after you're done, you make the fun, you're like, get on stage, he's like, hey man, I just got to tell you something. I'm straight. I got to show you. What? Like, T.I. going on. And I literally was like, to do what? I was like, I don't, what are you talking about? And he goes, here's the comment. I said, oh, okay. And then I said, it's his town. Fuck it, let him go up. And all I said was, you know, I saw T.I. because I'm a T.I. fan. So
see what I'm saying? It's his town. That's that South shit.
I'm like, I'm done. I'm a headliner. I'm done. I'm going to decompress. That's what I do. I don't give a fuck who's in the ring. That is what I've always done. So they were like, on my podcast, they're like, yo, did you go see him? I said, no, I don't know what. I'm headlining. And I mean, I didn't know him to do comedy, so I'm not going to watch. Not saying he shouldn't be doing comedy. I'm just a headliner. I just finished. It was
Respect the game, man. Respect the craft. This is the shit that I don't want to just run out here and do comedy for, because it's respect. It's respectful to the craft, to the comedy. It's the same as doing music. This is why rappers rap about rappers, because rappers just get on tracks and say anything over a beat, and then they get opportunities, and you like, hey, nigga, I've been putting all this work in, da 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 da. Like, how you don't understand that? It's like, oh, here we go. It's that southern intimidation. It's like, oh, you don't want to piss this person off because this, that, and the third. Man, in the video that he's talking about, T.I. said, I just want to talk. I think he said brief. He basically said, I want to briefly address something real quick. I just want to talk about it. And he said, because I feel like our conversations push shit. But when you get on Instagram and make a video, that's not a conversation. That's not a conversation at all. In no way, shape, or form is that a conversation. You wanted to wield your power, man. You know what you got going on out here.
It's like when Snoop Dogg is mad, all you see is his nostrils. Yeah. He has his Andre scarf on. I know, oh, Snoop is about to fuck somebody up. But yeah, he was like, it spread like wildfire. And I had dudes in the South, like comics in the South calling me, like, oh, you see that shit T.I. said about it? What happened? So I didn't even think about it.
Why is everybody so scared, man? Thought this was supposed to be comedy. Thought we was just all in the game together. It's all in fun. Right. How the respect, man. How respectful would that be if Godfrey just wanted to rap? See, but that's the thing about comedy to rap. If you go from comedy to rap, people don't care because you're not intimidating to a rapper who's been rapping for a long time and you just started doing comedy. But if you just started rapping, but you were doing comedy. But if you are a rapper going into comedy, it's like, dude, this ain't no joke. Ironically, no pun intended, but this ain't no fucking joke, man. It's years of shit that's going into this. Years of that's different, right? Right. What did I say? I'll be right back. By the way, I haven't seen the podcast with those two together yet. For me, it's just out of respect for Godfrey, but I'll watch it eventually.
I'm sorry about that, but I'm not sorry about the way I felt about how you are a comedian with protocol. That's like, and then I told him, I said, that's like me after you put his rhyme in, I go, yo, my man, T, you know, you just rocked this concert.
Didn't I just say this?
No, exactly. But you got to explain it to him in that way, because that's the world knows. And so when I look at it from this angle, I can see, and there were other comedians coming at it. So it was a build-up. When I said something,
Right. When people react irrationally and you are just reacting rationally, whoever, excuse me, whoever or the situation or whoever's involved, they're gonna react as if you're reacting irrationally because there's so many people reacting to them that they can't do anything but react back. They don't know how to. They open themselves up, but then when they open themselves up, they want to regulate what comes in. I'm not that type of person. I wouldn't open myself up. That's why I didn't do comedy because I don't want to open myself up to that and then not be able to live with whatever comes with that. It's not time for me. I need more healing.
But it's also true that people can hype things up. So y'all, imagine you guys did it, it could be something that really like.
Man, that's what happened. At the end of the day, that's all that happened. And T.I.'s T.I., so he gonna do what he want to do anyway. So look.
But what I like, I want to be very careful because I'm really trying to starve my ego as much as possible. That's what my next album is about. Kill the king. Killing the king is killing the ego. You know what I'm saying?
This is the video Godfrey was talking about that T.I. addressed him in without him there.
But when I hear this, what I want y'all to know is
T.I. was in the woods.
for one, bro, what God got for you is yours. Can't nobody take that from you. Okay?
Who said you could? Nobody's scared of your comedy, T.I. Nobody's scared of your fucking comedy. I don't know why he felt in that video that somebody was intimidated by his comedic genius.
It's important that y'all know that because y'all feel like
Especially not no real comedian. All the people that address T.I. and shit on him, I don't even know about them. I haven't heard them yet. And they might be people I know, but I haven't heard it about that video, about them addressing you, and no tweet, no nothing. All I heard was about Godfrey. And I heard about that because you was addressing him. You didn't see Godfrey talk about you.
like all of a sudden because I'm now standing on the stage, sharing my gifts with the world. You know what I'm saying? Utilize these skills that I've developed or that I am developing. You feel like that's in your way some kind of way.
No, my nigga, you're developing it on my stage after I just headlined a show. That don't happen in comedy. You don't develop your talent on the backs of already well-known celebrities, on the back of already years and years and decades of built-in rap fame. This is crazy. Nigga think because he could talk good that he can do whatever he want to do and manipulate everything. I don't think Godfrey ever said that. So that's his ego. The same thing he said he's trying to kill. That's his ego talking right now. Nothing but straight ego.
You need to be, nigga, that's your problem right there. Like, okay, so
I'm so glad they had a conversation because this shit will be so irky for me to watch as a comedian. Like a professional comedian. Couldn't sit through this. I wouldn't watch it enough for me to address it and respond positively.
I have a lot of respect and admiration for a legend and a goat in the comedy shit. His name is Guy. All right? His name is Guy. And I had to.
I do not believe T.I. was watching Godfrey's comedy that much as other people like Dave and Richard Pryor, all the known greats. Godfrey has done a lot for comedy and is great at comedy, but he doesn't get his just due like everybody else does. I think it's because of what he talks about, and he's super pro-black and etc. So I just don't know many black people that openly support Godfrey until they kind of have to.
Pleasure of sharing the stage with him. I had the pleasure of sharing the stage with him at the Atlanta Comedy Theater and had a good time, you know what I'm saying? Got up there and worked on my set, you know what I mean? I enjoyed the crowd, enjoyed the opportunity. And well, I thought all was well. I thought it went very good. And then I see an interview with Godfrey. And how I see Godfrey.
That's another thing. He did his own podcast. People don't understand podcasts, and they keep turning podcasts into interviews because they want to make everything the same, because they're bringing this rap-ass lifestyle to these more... I don't look at podcasting as an interviewing platform. It's not a platform for people to interview people, even though you can ask questions at any moment on a podcast. I just don't think it should be used to interview people over and 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 over because it's just not. That's another thing. You're interviewing. You're not podcasting. And that's the problem with something new like podcasting. It's like somebody could watch my podcast and be like, "You interviewed Nascar P and said this." I didn't interview that nigga. I just asked him a fucking question over and over again. I asked him a bunch of fucking questions. He asked me a bunch of fucking questions. What you call that? That's not an interview if we both asking each other questions. And what is an interview? An interview to me is questions and a conversation in lead up to something. That's what it's supposed to be if you ask me. Even though you get to promote your things on podcasts, people don't understand that this is not for you to promote yourself. This is a conversation, and I can't even, but even for me, a conversation is a whole nother category of content if you ask me. But I can't go there. Not right now.
He's a legend. He's a GOAT. I mean, he's undeniable. Right? Undeniable.
So would you go to an undeniable legend GOAT and try to perform after him? And do what he do? In your first time, nigga? Not your first time, but like, come on, man.
Like innuendos, little goddamn little tidbits of hate here and there while a couple.
And this ain't got nothing to do with his ego, apparently. This is not him watching something and being offended because of his ego. It's not his ego that's offended. It's just, I'm just talking right now. I'm just I'm just addressing it. I'm just telling the truth about what happened. There's no opinion in here. It's no perception. There's no perspective. It's no one-sided vision. This is just no ego involved. Allegedly, if you ask me.
Or surrounding it with compliments to make it seem like you ain't hating. But to be honest with you, bro, to me that made a giant look small in my eyes.
And exactly. That's all he wanted to do. Just tell the world how he don't think that anybody that says anything about him doing comedy and how bad the idea is for him to be on certain platforms this fast. Anybody who says that, you know, he's going to have an issue with it. So let's watch him get booed.
He was about 10, 11 years old, man. I think this is when the animosity started. The nigga walks in, come and slamming his mom. You hear me? Yelling his mom. We ain't been the same since. But goddamn. I'm gonna tell y'all motherfucking niggas like this.
I don't know any other comedian that had just started comedy and performed for this many people so soon. And it's like, if they did, I don't know about it, but if they did, it had to be some sort of skill level and experience and exposure factor to that and to why they can do that, because they've been tested. This is a business, bro. Not only is it a business, it's a craft, it's an art form. You took all these years to perfect your rap, and you're taking a few weeks and months to perfect your comedy?
You got one motherfucker that around me. It's called Kiid for motherfuckers like you. And I appreciate y'all because you make me the absolute best, nigga. New York has made me the motherfucking best, nigga. I appreciate it.
All right, y'all gonna think I'm hating. But when I was a child, I used the word expeditiously. Consistently. I read the whole dictionary before. I didn't have nothing else to do, had nothing but time. I was always on punishment, couldn't play with toys, couldn't go outside, couldn't watch TV. I read the fucking dictionary and I wrote things. Expeditiously is not a fucking big word to me. I was in the Young Marines. I had a sergeant, whatever. He told me That's how he made us move faster. He would be like, S, do this, bada boom, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. But on top of that, it's expeditiously, like get it done. And T.I. has become known for using big words, but that, if you ask me, that's only a Southern thing, because in the South, you guys were the last to be free, so you guys don't talk and use words and communicate and enunciate and actually use the English language in a way that somebody from the North would. This is shit nobody want to talk about because they're scared of the South. They're scared of niggas who would rather resort to violence to check you and to shut you up and to fix you, instead of actually agreeing with you, understanding your point, seeing your perspective, and then y'all both understanding that we just gotta move forward together. Period. No, people rather take offense, because if they take offense, then they can manipulate the other side out of not being a side anymore. So that way I can just do what I'm doing with no resistance. I read a lot of big words, bro. I used them every day, and people said I was talking white. Oh, let a dude from the South who talk like this, and I just said everything a little bit different, and I mix it all in, then I can N. Sound like he's saying the letter N, but from the North I would say N, not N. Where's the E in N? It's not no hate shit. It's just the reality about people being surprised. Like, that's the sad shit too. It's like white people, like black people doing regular things that white people do every day. To white people is entertainment. To pop culture, that's entertainment. If I come out and I'm like, that's why dyeing your hair is a thing. It's like, oh, white people have been dyeing their hair for years, but if we dye our hair, it's like, oh, it's actually cool now. Yeah, because we're black. We didn't do certain things. We don't do certain things. So when we do it, it's like, whoa. I'm tuning in. That's fucking wild. That's creative. Man, everything ain't fucking creative, man. Everything ain't special. How do you become special for using a word that's been in a dictionary since before you was even around? And this ain't no hate, like I said. I can say that all day, but y'all just gonna say I'm hating. But the reality is, dude, like, words are just words, bro. And this nigga built a whole brand off of a word that everybody's been using before you even found the word and knew it existed. And all these people who are like not that educated, who haven't read the dictionary and don't really rap that way, they're like, yo, when I talk on the phone with T.I., I don't know what the hell he's saying. If you read the dictionary, you probably would. It's not that complicated. He's not saying anything different than what he would normally say. He's just using different words to say it. That's all the dictionary is, showing you all the words that you could use. Lazy people rather use ebonics and short terms. I guess I can finish him being booed and just go from there. This shit is crazy.
Celebrity, do yourself, do me, and the celebrity a favor. Before you go approach these people.
That's one of the probably number one rules in comedy. And I don't know anything, so don't judge me and don't take my word for it. But it's probably one of the number one rules in comedy, especially when you're famous already. Nobody that is watching you or listening can relate to being famous. We don't like you because you're fucking famous. Get that shit out of here. Your famous lifestyle. This isn't rap where you can flaunt your money in my face and I pay you more money to flaunt your money in my face. This isn't hip hop. This is, we came here to enjoy ourselves, to relate to you. Now, talking about to check the audience and say, when you see your favorite celebrity, don't do this and don't do that because it makes us uncomfortable. How is that fucking funny? You wouldn't even know how to make that funny if you hadn't been doing comedy for a long time and been unfamous doing comedy. Like, bro, we had to grow with you. We didn't grow with you. We grew with your music, with your fame, with your can't say it all because they're gonna hate me. What you gonna say? That's the funny. My voice and how I'm saying it. Y'all gonna hate the shit out of me for this podcast.
And I see a motherfucker doing shit like this.
Somebody said, yikes. Hold on, Shorty said, yikes. She said, yikes. Yo, I'm trying to tell you, man. That's the thing about me. Like, I guess I'm biased because this is in New York. And I love New York. You know what I mean? And the thing about me in New York, I don't make it in New York because I'm too vanilla for New York. New York doesn't think that I'm hard enough and I'm aggressive enough and I'm intimidating enough to. New York has the same kind of Southern thing, but without the like I said, the shortcuts. You can't really take too many shortcuts in New York. They're gonna check you at every turn. So this dude addressed it with Michael Blackson on live. And this shit is hilarious if you ask me. I came out the whole energy chain. Oh, he talking about they booed him when he allegedly saying he played a song or some music and everybody was cheering because the whole energy changed and everybody was cheering. And then he said, I wish I would play a song for you ungrateful motherfuckers. And then they clap. And watch Michael Blackson say, watch what he said. Right. Because they wasn't clapping for your fucking jokes, my nigga. It was clapping for your fucking raps. That has nothing to do with comedy. Can't nobody else in comedy do that. Play a song and everybody clap.
I mean, either way, bro.
The audience is telling him shut up and dribble without saying it. Would they say, stick to your day job? It ain't no hate, man. Golly, don't hate me. I ain't say nothing. I'm a nobody. Hold on. When you do comedy on a big stage, you want the world to see this. If he didn't bomb, he would be saying, this is for the world. This is for the world. In comedy, your bread and butter is people's approval of you because you need them to enjoy what you do. You need them to laugh. Then on top of that, like I said, if he didn't bomb, he would be saying this is for the world. He goes on to say this is between me and the crowd. I bet it's between you and that crowd when you fucking bomb. Because if you did good, you would want everybody in the world to watch it. Now it's just between you and that crowd because it didn't go too good. You thought it was going to be perfect, and it wasn't because nobody cares about your celebrity anymore now that you're over here doing comedy. Nobody cares about your fucking raps. Forget about that shit, man. I don't feel like people told this nigga this shit, but he was so fucking confident, and people was ha 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 ha, kiki. We love you, ti. They wouldn't think about the jokes, and then once the jokes started hitting, they was like, bro, this is some bullshit. People paid to come to a comedy show, man. They pay to come to a rap show, but they know what they about to get before they pay for their money. That's what they paying. They paying. Pay with their money. With a comedy show, you hoping you might get something you know about, but most of it is going to be newer shit that you haven't heard before. You're paying for that element of surprise. Meanwhile, the blast of laughter and excitement and enjoyment that you about to get in return for spending your money. You're always going to feel like you get your money's worth or more than that when you go to a comedy show. Unless it was a bad fucking comedy show. I'm confused. You better ask him, Michael Blackson. Don't let him bring that unfunny shit over there to your show, your platform where y'all doing what y'all doing. Y'all cooking over there. He said, "You gonna do that joke or you gonna do that same joke? You gonna let it go? You gonna let it?" Michael Blackson funny. It's a case by case basis. You gotta have tough skin when you a comedian, bro. And I don't feel like T.I. got tough enough skin to be a comedian yet. He still keep thinking he a gangster and he rapping and he a tough guy. You can't do all that. That's not comedy. That ain't got nothing to do with comedy, bro. Comedy mean a lot of people gonna hate you, and you just gotta keep being funny. You gotta keep making them people laugh. Comedy is turning the person who hates you to the core into a fan through joy and straight relating to you, human, empathetic. This nigga keep trying to control the whole shit. This nigga said he didn't think he was. Now it's all in fun. This is the most unpodcast podcast that I've ever done, by the way, and I appreciate everybody who sticking with me through this. This is more of a YouTube episode, but it's a podcast at the end of the day. I gotta slowly work my way back into podcasting by myself. I've done this a long time, man. It's like I've been doing podcasting for over 4 years now. By my fucking self. I've been homeless. I've been starving. I've been sleeping outside. I've been sleeping inside. I've been sleeping on people's floors. I've been sleeping on people's couches. I've been sleeping on crack house floors. I've been sleeping all sorts of places, living all sorts of places with all sorts of people doing the same thing. Getting it out as best I can with no money, no family, no budget, no nothing. No support even. No views, no listeners. I've been doing it for a long time like that. I did that Joe Budden live one time, and now people are telling me they want to listen and they're tuning in. And for me, it's just like, man, I'm going to do this until I die. So you're not going to get rid of me. No circumstance can get rid of me. No person not wanting to podcast with me can get rid of me. It's just funny. I feel like after Joe Budden said, yo, fire that nigga. And then I tell him, not immediately after, but I tell him to take a few episodes off. You know, then I hit him up to really just gauge his purpose and his point of doing this podcast with me. I feel like Nascar P is actually like, yeah, I'm good on this. Whether he is or not, like I said, he ain't contacting me. So it is what it is, man. I just appreciate everybody that's here for the journey, here with me. You ain't even got to be fully here with me, but just here for the journey of life in general for all of us, all humanity, because I'm a part of that. We all going through a human experience, man. And it's an infatuating, confusing, yet important thing that doesn't matter at all. Let me just finish this.
Ready for more.
I'm about to get my pod picks ready right now.
I'm ready. As long as I ain't got to wear what you got on, man.
Watch Michael. Watch Michael.
I'm ready for more.
Watch his face. More booze or more shows? That's a comedian right there. That's a fucking comedian. Then he resorts to what he's wearing to take the attention off of.
Hey, look, man, your shit was, hey, look, your shit was fire.
I bet he didn't get booed either. Right. 3 years. Do the work. Put your time in. That's what it's all about. Not saying he bad at comedy. Not saying he shouldn't do it. Not saying he shouldn't even be on the stages he on. At the end of the day, you're going to have to do a lot of work before you even get to do that stage and it go good, is what I'm saying. He told him, Michael Blackson said, I've been booed before. 1,500 people. He said, just the one time, he said, yeah. And he said, nah, man, they talking I was booed by like 15,000. I was in front of 15,000. And then Michael Blackson said, yeah, you got booed by 10,000 people tonight. That's a lot. But that's my point, bro. If you had did smaller stages and not jumped out into the middle of everything first, you would have been able to go through all of this on a lower scale and then work your way up and then be where you at. But then you decided to skip the line, bro. You didn't want to do the work. You didn't want to go through what everybody went through. You decided that you wasn't going to go through that and you're going to do this how you want to do it, but there's supposed to be no ego involved. It's all about the comedy and making people laugh, or is it all about you getting to do this too so you can walk around and say, I do everything? He never thought it was able to happen. What comedian you know think they can never be booed? What real comedian do you know that think they will never be booed? That's wild. You still got booed, so you didn't perform much better, bruh. What the fuck is he talking about? See how Michael Blackson. Okay, he don't even know that people fuck with him because he's T.I. and it's not because he's funny. It might be a little bit because you're funny, but you have to balance out those ratios. You have to even them out. You have to raise that up to that level. Your raps are more entertaining than your fucking jokes. People were laughing because they wanted to get to you, period. Nobody care about what you're saying. But then when you start getting on these stages where it's like, nigga, New York is the grooming factory. A lot, not just New York, but some of these stages are grooming factories for true talent. New York is all about reputation too, in a big way. They're about being able to stand on their word and having value in their suggestions. So we don't want to suggest somebody and we don't want to promote somebody who one day they was fucking fired for us, but then when you go see them, they was shit. It's like we're not about to promote somebody that ain't gonna be good tomorrow and the day after. And New York wants their reputation to be pure and always stay true.
making me feel like, hey, yo, that last begin, they ain't coming. But hey, guess what though? Guess what? I welcome you because it's all a part of the journey, correct? Yes, sir. This is what comes with.
I'm gonna just say this too. NASCAR P told me I was gonna be on the next album, and he said that on this podcast, right? You see this, right? Hold on. 3 albums later, after the 2 album, Yellow Tape 2. Shout out, go buy that. It's 3 albums. I don't see my name in none of this shit. And like I said, I don't gotta see my name. At the end of the day, I might be on there, but I gotta listen to it. Like I said, but I'm only gonna promote and advocate for what I heard already. And this shuffle 110 is my shit right here. I fuck with that right now. Hold on. You see it, man. You get it. Shuffle 110 NASCAR P13K on all platforms. Go check it out, man. And then here he go. This nigga so funny, bro. This nigga got Money Counter, one of my favorite Cardi songs, Money Counter Music. Then he got Six God. This nigga taking over, bro. He not gonna play with y'all, man. He got his foot on y'all neck. As much as you want to say he don't, this nigga do. Man, for tuning in, watching this shit, liking, subscribing. Man, it's been another rendition of the Rondo Show podcast. I appreciate everybody, man. Us on the Rondo Show official page on Instagram, and KKM Media HQ on Instagram, and following and subscribing to the Kreatiivez Network website. Tuning into this channel on YouTube. Just my random thoughts. It's my show, just me. I'm gonna be dropping a lot of episodes upcoming, so tune into that. Rondo Show podcast, episode 88. I love you. Peace, bitch.
Can we discuss T.I. being booed? We didn't talked about this. We didn't talk. I had Lauren on here earlier. She talked about it. They good from that, but you know, you probably you gonna get booed sometimes, man. Different crowds. You understand? T.I. been doing clubs. This is an arena show. Arena shows are different. The laughs hit different. The pacing is different. You know what I'm saying? The way you approach it is a little bit different. The shit I saw where he talked about the gas stations, well, you know, in New York, they don't really have gas stations like that. They got a few gas stations, but they don't have quick trips. They don't have like racetrack. They can't even pump their gas. You understand? So, yeah, that's a big stage to jump on. And it's a lot of learning that come with this shit, man. Like, this comedy game is like, it's a lot of fucking learning. It's a lot of fucking learning about yourself. You know? You gotta look at it and whatever the fuck going on, you gotta make it real. You can't just think about what you thinking. Anybody can do that. That's the shiny up polished LA way. You know what I'm saying? Not the LA way, the Hollywood way. Cause shout out to my people that's from LA, that's funny as fuck. I always try to separate that. I always try to separate Hollywood and LA. Cause Hollywood is people that came out there to try to get it and appear to shit. And LA is actual people that live there. And you just can't lump them motherfuckers together. So let me clarify that. You know what I'm saying? But you feel me? So look, this shit to go. You gotta figure out how to do this shit at every goddamn level. Every stage gonna be different. You gonna figure it out if you really fuck with this shit. That's the shit. How you feel after the shit didn't go your way? Do you still want to do it? That's the shit to let me know I was ready to do it. You know what I'm saying? Erica, what up? Erica Duchess, what's good? You know what it is? Erica Duchess funny than a motherfucker, on tour. Just did the No Cap tour, went crazy. You already know what I'm saying? Putting on for the city, been putting on for Atlanta. She seen it. T.I. was at that show. He didn't get booed at that show. You know what I'm saying? You ever been booed in New York? No, I've never been booed in New York. And I wouldn't let it happen because people amped up New York to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, just as a comedian from the South, we seen how they looked at us in hip-hop. We seen how they looked at us. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you follow me, E. Make sure you follow Erica Duchess, man. Come on, man. She got a dope-ass Tuesday night. I know I don't be falling through like I'm supposed to, E, but that's because we be in the studio. We be taping on Tuesdays, but I fuck with you the long way. Jotty, what up, boy? Jotty funny, the motherfucker, he got special out too. Make sure you follow these people. If I'm shouting these people out and I'm telling you they comedians, go fucking check them out. It's on, you know what I'm saying? It's shit. I'm not that motherfucker that's gonna be like, hey man, don't follow them motherfuckers. Man, please follow them motherfuckers. Them motherfuckers might be in a position that put you in a position. They might be in a position that put me in a position. So you never know, man. Support the motherfuckers that work. Support the motherfuckers that work. I love you too, fam. You already know.